Hello everyone, and thanks for watching our weather update on January 15th, 2023. We are now at the halfway point through winter, so I think that the first half of winter was, on average, probably just around average really, possibly slightly above average in temperatures. So we started December very, very cold, with blocking around Greenland and Iceland with winds from the northeast. We didn't see much snow with this cold spell in my area. There was no snow where I was. But I know that coastal areas of the north got quite a bit of snow. And also, a feature went into England and brought some snow on, I think it was the 10th of December. I can't remember. Currently, I think it was the 12th actually. Yeah, I think it was the 12th. Yeah. Monday, 12th December, there was snow, quite a big snow event in southeast England. Those of you watching around there may remember that. Um, Comment down below if you do. Then it went mild from around the 18th onwards, with a front coming off the Atlantic. No snow with that, just rain, and a big swing in temperatures towards the mild end. And then we finished off last year, 2022, quite mild, not as mild as the absolutely ridiculously mild New Year of 2022, though this year was still quite mild. Actually, New Year's Day itself was quite chilly in the north, with some wintry rain and Derry, a bit of sleet as well. And then first half of January it was very mild, very wet, very windy, very very unsettled spell. But this spell looks likely there'll be a bit of a lull in it, a little gap, a little break in it, as we'll go drier and colder, and a lot of precipitation will start to fall as snow. So anyway, I'll get on with the content then. So today we're going through the warnings on Met.ie, the charts at UKV, and the charts on weathercentral.de. So warnings. So we currently have a yellow ice warning for Ireland. So after all of that rain, sleet stuff last night, and today, icy stretches are likely on tonight and tomorrow morning. Hazardous conditions are expected, especially on untreated roads and footpaths. Some freezing patches of fog are also possible. So valid 6 p.m. is really valid. It's 7:05 as I'm recording this. And also it's lasting till midday tomorrow. So tomorrow morning will be quite treacherous. Same morning as tomorrow. Also a last warning for parts of Northern Ireland, and then by Tuesday, January 17th, there's just a little small craft warning off the southwest coast. So detailed weather for the next 5 days using the UKV run. This would be quite interesting, and every run sort of varies its location for snow, but most likely in the north and in the west. And tomorrow evening, possibly in the southwest, you could get a bit of a covering if this run comes off. So I'll start today, obviously, and this area of precipitation that's passing just to our south, that just gives us a bit of a glancing blow to Kerry and Cork this evening for clearing off, and we are like sort of partly cloudy, some mist and fog, but a very cold night with that as well, with a northwesterly winds, and the rain turns a bit wintry in the very very slightly wintry in southeast England tomorrow morning, and then that clears up off the way there. Anyway, Ireland. Tomorrow morning we could see some fog patches in the Midlands before they clear off, hopefully. But look at this. Focus on the southwest. This little band of just more enhanced showers. That's a little feature that comes in off the Atlantic tomorrow. And these are the sort of things that may just band the showers up together and, it's sort of like intensify them a bit more and organise them a bit more, just like a small front. And they could just push the showers a bit further inland. So you can see across Kerry into Cork, there is snow there for a considerable number of hours. So from say tomorrow between 7 p.m. sorry 5 p.m. and going on into around midnight, 11 to midnight. That snow is right there over Cork and Kerry, lasting for about 6 hours. So if that just stays there, they could get a good 5 centimeters if that comes off. Of course, it's cold. Temperatures look around freezing or just below. So that's something to watch. Other models earlier had this sort of like a bit further eastwards, so it's still very uncertain. Very, very uncertain, despite it only being like 24 hours away. So big eye kept on that. I mean, we may not even know we may not even know the positioning of the feature until this event actually happens. So yeah, just play the waiting game. Then Tuesday we see snow showers in the usual spot in the north of Ireland, and they're mainly snow. Rain off the coast, but inland you're mainly got snow. And another feature sort of comes in on Tuesday evening that sort of bands the showers together and pushes them a bit further southwards. So by 8 p.m. on Tuesday evening, you got snow showers as far down as sort of like Kildare, and they do come further southwards into Tuesday night. And you see by Wednesday at 6 a.m. you got some showers in the Midlands. So just features like those could really pep the showers up and send them inland. Thursday, now yesterday's UKV run had this rainfall further northwards and turned into snow for a time, but this time the rain's gone further southwards as we struggle to push Marlow off the Atlantic. So Thursday remains quite chilly, and Thursday night still is quite chilly. But then on Friday, we see another band of rain, very light and patchy, but still enough to push some milder air in. Turning a bit wintry in the northwest for a time, but it doesn't last long, and we push the milder air. We try to anyway off the Atlantic. It looks like this area of rain's dying out, and there's more rain trying to come in from the Atlantic. Temperatures at sort of 3 p.m. on Friday, actually still quite cold. So UKV has delayed the arrival of the milder air, as you can see. So yeah, 10-11 degrees off the west coast, but over land it's still around 1 to 4 degrees. So this is delaying the arrival of the milder air. Okay, so GFS run. This is the low pressure that we're currently seeing. That's bringing the rain off the coast of the south. That'll clear away. So tonight will be a very, very cold night, some fog in places. But tomorrow, that fog should clear. But as you can see on this chart, this is the area sort of that we have to watch. There's a little, very, very shallow trough, and within that is a showery feature, a little front that will just pep the snow up a little bit and send it further inland. So yeah, it needs to be kept an eye on, as always. And on we go into midweek, and this is a very unstable northerly, so any troughs that push in will just band the showers together and push them inland. But you can expect northern and northwestern coast to get a decent, probably a nice covering of snow from this actually. There'll probably be snow warnings tomorrow being issued. There hasn't been a snow warning yet, and I bet that there'd be a snow warning if that UKV run comes off for the southwest of Ireland. Anyway, we're going into midweek now, and this is around the time where we initially thought that the milder air would come in. But look, Thursday at 6 p.m. But at this time on the GFS run, the minus 5 Celsius isotherm at 850 HPA is still covering the whole country apart from the southwest, and it really struggles to move out. So by 6 a.m. on Friday, so we're only in the mild air by midday on Friday, and as well as the rainfall by then as well. And then we go mild, definitely. Most unsettled there in the northwest, closest to the low, and driest in the southeast. It's probably just, this looks really quite gloomy to me. Just like clouds, wind, drizzle, boring conditions. let's just say my least favorite winter. This is my least favorite pattern for winter. High pressure like over France and Spain, Biscay, low pressure Iceland, Canada, and we're dragging up this wind from the Azores. It'll just be miserable, gloomy, damp, murky, depressing, and unfortunately, this pattern just sort of locks itself in, if you know what I mean. Until we get high pressure sort of centering more or less over us, and actually hopefully clear the skies up, give a bit of frost and fog. Although we are still essentially mild, and it'll probably and that just renews the mild wind from the southwest there on January the 28th. So depressing for me, this GFS run, and just very anticyclonic. And the main reason why it's depressing is that it looks so much like last winter, and after last winter, I don't want that same pattern just like coming back in and giving me deja vu of that boring winter. Like, I want something different this winter. We have had it, so keep it going, please. Anyway, ECMWF run, 12Z. Starting off today with that trough just pushing to our south. Tomorrow we see that little trough developing in the Atlantic. That's what brings the snow to the southwest of the country tomorrow evening, and then that gets out of the way of for Tuesday and Wednesday. We're into northerly winds. ECMWF with a milder transition, a bit quicker, I think. Well, yeah, a bit quicker than the GFS and UKV run. So by again next weekend, we're into this pattern of southwesterlies, high pressure over like France and Biscay, and low countries, low pressure sort of around this area, Iceland, Atlantic, pushing up that wind from the southwest. So reminiscent of last winter. Anyway, forget about that. We've got this lovely cold spell to enjoy before it, so let's focus on that first. Enjoy it while it lasts. Yes, exactly. Anyway, going forward, low pressure's quite a deep low over England there, so that could bring snow to them. It's not guaranteed. Then we just push into a northerly winds. And then we get the front in. Again, it's struggling. You see the elongation in the isobars. It's really struggling to come in against the cold air, but eventually it does, and we break through into that pattern again. And I won't talk about it this time. I'm gonna enjoy the cold weather while it's still here. So boring. High pressure to the south, whatever. UK Met run then. So going through the chart, we can see that low pressure giving southeast England possibly a little bit of winteriness. Before that low pressure comes in over us, that little shallow trough possibly bringing us a bit of winteriness on Monday night, should I say? Getting all mixed up now. Then we put into a northerly winds, a beautiful northerly winds. Then we back the wind into the northwest there, and this run has this low pressure is doing something quite interesting. It has it going towards the the Celtic Sea, and the upper air temperatures look cold. Had this low pressure just been a bit further northwards, that'd probably be quite a decent snow event. Anyway, in the end, we end up with the same pattern as we saw on all the other runs, which I won't bother complaining about this time. Anyway, going towards the Icon run, so much the same story. We get low pressure, possibly bring a bit of winteriness before we go into a very unstable northerly wind. Snow showers across the country, most widespread in the north. That low pressure really struggles to come in on Thursday and Friday to bring the milder air, but then eventually I think it succeeds. It takes a bit longer than the other runs, and actually struggles to get milder air into England. So by the end of the Icon run, we're trying to get an easterly wind in. That's a nice tell-up for the books, isn't it? Very, very nice compared to all those other outcomes. Anyway, finishing off with the Arpege run. Same story. Low pressure sort of over us today and tomorrow. Possibly snow in some areas before we go showery and northerly before we try and see the milder air off the Atlantic, as well as that Azores High trying to give its gloominess to us for the final week of January. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But for now, I'm going to enjoy the cold spell. Okay. Anyway, we're done for now. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll be probably not uploading for the rest of the week, but hope you enjoyed, and bye for now.